Hi YouTube, this is Ryan from Ryan's Journey. Been a long time since I made an update, so I wanted to come back here and make a quick update for my documentation purposes and anybody else who's interested and likes hearing about my updates and taking what you can from someone who's been there, done that, and is in more of the maintenance phase of life. So I appreciate helping people. I'm going to talk about a number of things today to give you an idea of what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to talk about numbers, of course. I don't think I talked about numbers on my last video specifically, but I will get into that a little bit today. Also going to talk about life's changes for me, just a little update on me, what lots of changes going on over the last year, 2 years, to say the least. And then maintenance. I'm going to talk about a little bit about maintenance and what that entails, food, exercise, some things have to do with that. So we'll talk about that. And then body shot. If I don't chicken out, I'm going to do a little body shot for an update, and that way I can kind of track my progress and etc. And then last thing on the agenda is I'm going to mention at the end, just as a reminder, to look out for a video I'm going to post after this one, not directly after, but coming soon, that will just be a video asking for questions, and it will be a giveaway. Probably a Starbucks, something like that. Everybody likes Starbucks, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, let me get into my video. So numbers. I started my weight loss journey, for those of you that don't know, at surprisingly, the highest weight I've ever been was the day that I met my weight loss surgeon. Her name is Farida Benoit in Santa Barbara, California. The day I met her, I weighed in at their scale at 326 pounds. Now I knew that I would up above 300, 310, 315 for a while, but when you get up there, you stop weighing yourself. I think the scale is kind of the enemy. So, and I started working out more weights before I went in there. So I think sometimes with weightlifting, it can cause some weight gain, and that could be because of having to eat more to provide for the muscles, also building muscle. So there's kind of a thing like that. But 326 was the high. At that time, we set my surgery for 3 months later at February 24th, 2014. So on 11/18/2013, I was 326. On 2/24/2014, the day of my surgery, I was 294. So I had lost 32 pounds before surgery. Really a great feat. I wear a suit to work. I'm in the banking financial industry, but I tailored in my suit. I had a customer that had a little tailor business and gave me a deal. So before buying a new suit, before I even had the surgery, I had to have a suit taken in after 32 pounds. And so as far as if you're new in that process of thinking about it, know that the doctor told me one thing: every pound you lose makes your surgery less risky. Every pound you lose makes your surgery less risky. And that was a ding, 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 because I'm afraid of surgery. I haven't had many in my life, and so I was gung ho. So I went home that day and started living like I was a vertical sleeve a weight loss surgery patient, for example. I really went low carb. I tried to really do smaller portions more throughout the day, and started to document it. You can start watching the videos from the start of this, and you will see I documented my journey early on, even before I had the surgery. So, but that was good. Today, what do I weigh today? It's a great question. I weigh today 211 pounds. So I'm really happy with the weight. If I stayed at 211 my whole life, I would thank Jesus and be happy with that. So my goal range is really 205 to 215. That's kind of my goal range. I have been all the way down. At my lowest, I think, was 197. But anything below 205, I really didn't like. I felt too thin. I don't know. People said I thought I looked too thin, and but I am kind of on a goal to get back to 205. I probably got up around 215 or a little more at one time over the last 6 months, and the last few months I've been exercising more and try to eat a little better, of course. So down to 211, and I think that I'm going to try to get closer to that 205. I feel like I sleep better. I started my journey. One of the main things I had happen, I had sleep apnea for 7 years as my weight fluctuated up around those 300 range. And that's anybody who has sleep apnea or knows any family member that has, it's not a fun thing. So I feel like the 80 pound, every pound I gain now affects how I breathe when I sleep, especially. So that's important. So I do kind of want to get back down to 205. So we'll see how that goes. Um, so that's my numbers. I'm going to move on to life changes. What am I doing now? So since I had my surgery, I had developed the courage to move on and leave my wife. I did go to counseling with her. I did try to make it work for years, well, even before surgery, but definitely months and months. We tried to make it work, but in the end, I felt like it was time to move on. And so the good news is we have a son together, and me and her get along great. Probably get along better now than we did before. So hopefully we can continue that for my son's sake and our sake. So that's cool. So that's a big change. That's been a year and a half or so since we've been separated and finalized the divorce. So recently, and then a new job. So one good thing about the weight loss surgery is I believe it's helped me in my career, and not just in energy but really looks play a part in anybody's career, that you're dealing with the public and you have to sell yourself and sell your products and your services. And so I've had a couple of promotions at my old financial institution, and then I also was recruited by another financial institution for a while, for a year or so, to come over. And I finally decided to make the move 4 months ago or so. And so that's been kind of a whirlwind, changing careers, learning a whole new systems and computer systems and policies and rules and things like that, and training. And but it's been great. The transition has been smooth as it can, really. So that's a big change, though. And then I moved. I live. So, like I said, a few different things. Definitely relationship changes, job changes, car. I got a new car months ago. Changes. So changes are going to keep coming in life, and I think that as as you move on from right after weight loss surgery and losing the weight, you get to where you're living life again, and you almost forget. You never really quite forget about eating a certain way and the size of your stomach. I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, if anybody didn't know, and you always live with that. I mentioned in some of my early post-op videos that I had a couple of not nightmares, they were just dreams. They weren't even bad, about vampires. I don't remember even if I was a vampire, I was around vampires, but I thought about why I dreamed that, and I think that what I came to is I feel like we are all, after surgery, we're forever tainted. We're forever different than your fellow man that you walk by. They might not know. They might not know that I've had a weight loss surgery, but I'll never be the same. I'll never, there's just fundamentally anatomy things that are different in me that I have to live with. And it just feels like I'm walking around regular people when I'm not. So that's something that still is in the mind. But for the most part, you get to where you're living pretty normal. I can go have a meal with someone that I work with or something like that now, and they wouldn't know. I mean, yeah, they might think like, oh, he didn't eat that much, or he's taking some of his food home or back to the office or whatever. But for the most part, I can live my life without most people knowing. Now, I'm going to do a video about relationships and dating. I think that might be one of the questions that come up from when I ask about questions, but I'm going to do a video about that. I've been asked about that before. I did some dating, online dating and things like that. You're just different. And so, but I'll get into that. But as far as that goes, your partner, it's kind of hard for them not to know. I mean, I think I had a customer, I knew a person, we'll call it, that she had a RNY surgery a few years ago, and she has a boyfriend now that she's been with a year, and she's never told him about the surgery, which I find. And she told me that her mom and her family's like, how can you not tell him? And why don't you just tell him? What's the big deal? And she was kind of afraid to tell him. Now, she did tell him, obviously, that she lost a good amount of weight because she had some probably loose skin or something like that. And that was something she had to explain a little bit of. But like I like I said, when you have a partner, they're going to know about it. I'm kind of upfront about it, like probably after a few dates, or I will tell people about it. And so anyway, really don't know why I was going into that. I might edit that. Um, so just life changes, lots of different things. Um, yeah. So let's go on to maintenance. So maintenance is the phase I consider myself in, maybe forever, and I'm just trying to maintain. Now, um, I think you have to find your motivation early on when you first after the surgery, especially if you're doing a really good job tracking and things like that, like you're supposed to. You're highly motivated. You're held accountable. But after a while, you start getting a regular life. You start slipping into regular habits, old habits, and the stresses and the things that you had trouble coping with to lead to food in the first place, those creep back around. And so you got to find a way to motivate yourself and to hold yourself accountable. Easier said than done, but especially with exercise. Um, I think of people like Kobe Bryant and or Michael Jordan. These great athletes that they always found motivation. They talk about the haters or the people in the media that say they're not the greatest, or that his jump shot's not the best, or this isn't good, and they use that as motivation. They don't think of it as like, oh, how could you say that? They use that as motivation, and that's driving them. They might shoot 500 extra shots versus their 800 shots in a day. They might shoot an extra 500 every day, or spend a summer shooting 1,000 shots a day. Whatever they do, in the back of their mind, that's helping them motivate. And one thing that I was thinking about why I was at the gym today, I was on a elliptical machine, and they had this hockey movie on. It's a theater gym. I mean, inside the gym, there's a little theater room where they have theater on, and it was this hockey movie, and I couldn't tell you, but it's USA Hockey. It's an old school movie where they're motivating and driving these guys to their depths of their body can take them. Telling them they're gonna have to play Russia. Well, while I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, part of what motivates me is I don't want to be one of those people they say, oh, he had the surgery, but he gained the weight back. Or, oh, it didn't, you hear about these stories like, oh, so-and-so had a surgery, but it didn't really work for her or him. Or they gained the weight right back, and you'll gain the weight right back. So that motivates me. Or when somebody says, oh, you took the easy way out, or they even look at you like that, to me, that motivates me to work harder and to never let that happen where somebody can say that about me. And that's a motivation. Obviously, the main motivation is health and to be there for my family, my son, not have sleep apnea, and a number of other things. But health is the main thing. I know I've added 20 years on my life with the surgery, and not just the surgery, but the whole education of nutrition, getting back to exercise, holding myself accountable, everything like that. So maintenance is definitely a lot in the mind and coping with things. Food, I'm not perfect about food. I had just a little bit ago, I had some Frito chips with avocado and salsa. Not a lot, moderation. And when I do, this is interesting too. When I do that, I usually have less of the chip and more of the avocado and salsa on the chip, if that makes sense. Hummus is one thing I eat sometimes. And I do celery in it sometimes to keep it low carb. But, if I use a cracker or a pita chip that I buy in a bag, I'll get most of the dip on the chip. So I'm getting most of the protein and the nutrition. So little tips like that. But really, anything you do it in moderation. I specifically try to stick to higher proteins, lower carbs. That's meats, that's your vegetables. That's the main thing, meats and vegetables. And nuts. I do nuts. I take nuts to work and I eat them. That could be almonds, cashews, pistachios, a mix of nuts. I'm not one of, I can't salt them or see. I get them seasoned. Hey, moderation. And so I will, on a Sunday, sometimes barbecue, and I'll barbecue an extra piece of chicken or tri-tip, if you know what that is, beef. And I'll slice it up and I'll use that throughout maybe the middle of the week. And that way I can still have some proteins. I can put that in salad and tacos, whatever. And and that's important. So no, nothing really mind-blowing or things you don't really know. If you're watching this, you understand a little bit about nutrition, I think. So that's it's just sticking to it. It's easy to go in there and have you're out somewhere, donuts are at work, or there's pizza and you have some pizza. You can do that. You can't keep yourself from it, but you just got to do it within moderation and reason. And I don't eat out that much. I eat at home, and I know my routines and things I could do, and I have to change it up. Like I said, I'm eating hummus right now. I might get sick of hummus in a month, and I won't eat hummus for a few months, and I'll do something else. I got tired of nuts for a while. I didn't eat nuts for a while. These kind of things come up. I didn't After surgery. I ate a lot of Greek yogurt and protein shakes. I haven't done those in a year or two almost. I do eat yogurt sometimes, but not even the Greek yogurt. But today I bought 4 things of Greek yogurt. Um, I'm gonna start trying to get back into Greek yogurt. It sounds good again. Also, I've been considering doing protein shakes. I'm really getting a little more extreme about my protein and low carb the last few weeks. So I think that I'm going to maybe start the protein shakes again. They had some Atkins ones at the grocery store I was at, but I'm going to wait and hold out for the Premier Protein ones that I used to like. All right, talking about food, I wanted to mention one thing that I do occasionally. Do. But see there, P3 portable protein pack. All right, this one is the one with applewood smoked turkey breast, marbled Colby, and Monterey Jack cheese and dry roasted almonds. Looks kind of like this in the trays. But this is really cool sometimes as a snack. Um, got your protein, got your nuts in there. It's really nice. I've actually even tried that. You can do this cheaper. This is like I don't know, $1.50. But you can do it cheaper if you buy bigger packages of things and just cut your cheese up and your meats up with some almonds. I bought this one day. You can see it's a container, opens up, but it has a divider in there so that I can put maybe meats and cheese and almonds on that side. And so that's definitely a cheaper way to go. I just was at the store and these are quick and easy to get, so I got them. But little ideas like that go a long way. So give it a shot. So that's food. Another topic is alcohol. I mentioned it in my last video, and I've seen a couple other videos since then when I've browsed around about alcohol after weight loss surgery. And I'm not going to get too deep about is it right or wrong and how the body reacts to it. But for me, on the maintenance side, I have all year I haven't had alcohol. I've basically cut it out. It's kind of a New Year's resolution, we'll call it, and it's been good. It's been good in many different ways. And maybe if that's one of the questions somebody asks, I'll get a little more specific on that. But maintaining it definitely helps you because it's extra sugars in your body. Even though I did vodka, diet cranberry, and lime, which isn't too bad as my main drink, alcohol does have some sugars to it. And what the problem is, I think, is it makes you eat poorly, during or after, and then the next day if you're feeling kind of like needing to be nurtured by food. So that's kind of the thing with that. Body shot. So I don't know. Do I have the courage to show a little body shot at 26 months post-op surgical anniversary? No, it's not an anniversary. Do I have the courage to show a body shot of me 26 months after surgery, vertical sleeve gastrectomy? I'm not in the best shape I've been in since the surgery, but I feel like I'm in decent shape. I can run right now if I had to. And so anyway, I probably will show it. If I do, it'll be right here. Boom. Hi YouTube, this is Ryan's Journey. Doing a quick little body shot for documentation purposes. I'm 2 years. I'll put the numbers up how long out I am right now. But approximately it's 2 years and 2 months. So what's that, like 26 months total post-op, and this is my body shot. Okay, I'm back. So you saw that little clip. Hopefully I kept it short and sweet. And all right, the last announcement is number 5. Look out for a video coming soon. I'm going to make a video coming soon in the near future, maybe in the next week or so, asking you for questions, saying, hey, ask me a question, something you want to know, weight loss surgery, not weight loss surgery. I really don't care, and I'll try to be as honest and open as I can. And I will do a giveaway, so I'll anybody who makes a comment, I'm going to put names in a hat, pull it, or do a random thing on the computer, and probably give away a Starbucks gift card or something like that. Anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. Still live, still kicking, so we'll see you next time. Peace.